Today we're going to talk a little about mathematical models and simulation.
This episode is brought to you by statistics. There's lies, there's damn lies, and then there's statistics.
We're going to use a program called Crystal Ball that uses Monte Carlo-based simulation to brute force our way through a large number of statistical calculations. Monte Carlo is named after the famous casino in Monaco, and the technique was originally developed by a mathematician who worked on the Manhattan Project to help calculate the achievement of critical mass. Now today, Monte Carlo simulation helps model the probability on different outcomes based on some semi-predictable inputs, and it's commonly used in fields ranging from finance to engineering. We're also going to use a little bit of OptQuest and optimization software that allows you to set targets, requirements, and constraints, and we're going to use this technology to help us open Pokemon cards. Let's get to it. I want to figure out how many packs is it that I need to open in order to find a Charizard, the one card that I did not get as a child, and now is my second chance at doing that. Okay, so here is our data set that we're going to be using as the input for our model. So there was someone that opened, there it is, 778 packs, and they posted their pull rates for each of them. So this is the statistics of opening any of these cards in those 778 packs. So it's not exact, it's not perfect. They're probably off by a little bit because their sample wasn't really large, but it was a pretty good sample. So these are the numbers that we'll use as the input to our model. Okay, so this is Crystal Ball. We run it out of Excel. And let's start with some basics. So we are looking for a Charizard. Now, each one of these packs, you can see there's a certain percentage that we find the card in that pack. Now, this is just under 1%. Let me show you what it looks like. Because there's some uncertainty, we're not exactly sure, but we know it's around 0.9%. And so for that pack, here's our distribution. No is 99% that we won't find it, and around 1% that we do find it. So a 1 indicates we found the card. And so that is just iterated a bunch of times down for each pack that we open. And then at the end, we're just adding up the number of Charizards. So if on pack 1 we found a Charizard, that would become a 1. Pack 2, we don't find it, that's a 0. And you can do that all the way down, you add them up, and that tells you how many Charizards you found. And then we can repeat this a bunch of different times. See, here's the number of trials we're going to run, and we'll do it 10,000 times. Now the output, or what we're going to call the forecast, we're just calling it Charizards found. And it's going to pop up a window to show us the number of Charizards we found in these different simulations. So with each step, let me just start it here and I'll pause it. So with these simulations it's run, it's telling us how many Charizards that we've found out of that many packs. And so I could just step through and you'll see with each trial, it's iterating up, it's incrementing up. And so with each one, it will add to one of these bars to tell you how many you found. So let's run it the full 10,000 times. So it's running, and with each simulation, it's telling us how many Charizards we found in that many packs. All right, so I set it to a 95% confidence interval, because that sounds pretty good to me. All right, so around 40% of the time, we're finding no Charizards, just 36, 37% of the time. So around a third of the time, we find 1, and then it tapers off down to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you could find a bunch of them, but it's not very likely. Most likely you'll be at 0 or 1, possibly 2. How many packs did we try here? This is in 100 packs. So if you buy 100 packs, reasonable chance you get one, but not definitely not guaranteed. All right, so let's look at this another way, because this doesn't quite tell us how many packs we want to open. It just tells us in 100 packs, we got a reasonable chance to get it. All right, so in this one, we're doing it slightly different. So for our pull rate of the Charizard, so the rate that you would find them in packs, this time we set it up as a normal distribution. So it's centered around that 0.9% with some standard deviation. So there's some uncertainty here because we don't know exactly what it is, but we know roughly what it is based on that data we found on the internet. And then the number of packs we open, this one's yellow because that's actually a decision, because I'm going to make a decision how many packs I want to buy. And I set my lower bound to 1, so I could buy as low as 1 pack, and I'm going to allow myself to go up to 200. And I'm saying that this step size is 1 because you can only buy them in whole packs. You can't buy a partial pack. And we're going to do something a little bit different here. We're going to run opt quest, which is going to try and optimize for us. I will show you the objective. The objective is to set the target for the minimum number of Charizards found to once, because we want to find at least 1. And really, I only really want to find 1. I don't need more than 1. All right, and then let's look at the decision variable. So again, this is what I set up earlier, number of packs, 1 to 200. And I just set the base case as 111 because mathematically, that's how you get 1 Charizard. We don't really have any constraints. We're going to run it 50 times. So this is going to run 10,000 simulations 50 times. And it's going to try and tell us how many packs we need to open in order to be confident that we will find that 1 Charizard. So let's go ahead and hit run. All right, you can see as it's running here, so it's running on 5 simulations now. These little dots are the answers, and so that's the Charizards found. And the big dot is it's the last best solution. And so over here, we're seeing the minimum number of Charizards, and we want it to be right at about 1. And so it's kind of guessing around here. If you're at all familiar with control theory, it's going to guess up and down until it gets pretty close, and it'll sort of zero in and get closer and closer with that each simulation until it gives us the best answer. All right, here we go. There it is, 50 simulations. So as you can see, it found the best solution back here, and it kept guessing for a while, but it settled in on 138 packs. So it's telling me if I want to find a Charizard, I better buy 138 packs in order to, I mean, you're not guaranteed. It is quite possible to go beyond 138, but it's saying mathematically, you have a very good chance of getting Charizard if you get 138 packs. So that's what I'm going to target to purchase. Just doing some rough math in my head, that's like, I mean, we're coming up on like $900 because these are selling for around $7 a pack right now. Well, I guess now is a good time to tell you that you should go sign up on my Patreon.
We don't have a Patreon.
Oh, we don't. When's it going to be set?
We're not going to.
Or not? It's $900. I mean, I told them that we were.
Why'd you do that?
Yeah. Ouch. Okay, let's look at another simulation that we can run. So what I did here was I wanted to figure out how many packs I need to open for a master set. So I just took the top few cards that were the rarest, the hardest to pull. And I went through and I simulated this, and mathematically what it's telling me is, as long as you can find the rarest card, which in this case was the Tapu Lele, by the time that you open that card, statistically you should have opened the other ones, and that kind of makes sense. That doesn't necessarily mean that that'll happen to you, because you could open Tapu Lele on the first pack, but over a large number of simulations, by the time you find this card, you will have found all the other ones, and therefore you'll have a master set. So we're just going to run the simulation to find that card. So I'll set the target for 95th percentile that we pull this card to 1, And then I set the requirements that we pull all the other rare cards to 1. So that makes sure that we have 1 of each. So we'll go ahead and run this, see how many packs we need to get a master set. And I have a feeling it's going to be a lot. All right, let's see what it's doing here. So we're 7 simulations. It's trying out a bunch of different answers. These are the values it's trying. So each time it runs, it gives me a value for the number of Tapu Leles that I've pulled, and it's trying to get it as close to 1 as possible, while also checking the requirements to make sure that it's pulled at least 1 of all the others. And it pretty much always will, because these are more likely to be pulled. So over a large sample, by the time you hit 1 of the rarest card, you'll have more than 1 of the less rare cards. So that makes sense. Okay, we're probably going to stop it because it's pretty close to the optimal solution. So we got a value of 1 at 238 packs, which is a lot of money. I mean, you're $1,700 bucks by now, so that's a lot. Let's go ahead and stop that. And then we can also look at the forecast. So this is the pull count of all the different cards, and it gives us a nice distribution, because that was the assumption we put in, was a normal distribution like this. So this is for the simulations we ran. This is the number of pulls of each of these cards that we got. So you can see them all there. And then we'll look at one more example. All right, the last one we're going to look at is money for the Pokemon Celebration set. So I think a lot of people make money on Pokemon. There are some people who run their business around Pokemon cards. And there are some people that think that you can just buy some packs and you're just going to make money, like this.
If you open up a Celebrations box right now, you are 100% guaranteed to make profit. And it doesn't even matter whether you purchase it for the normal retail price or purchase it off of eBay for a higher price. It is all the same.
But that's not really true. And to be fair, later he did say,
Just left all that sealed, the values will be much higher. But yo, that's the risk it for the biscuit mentality right there. And that is all the fun about collecting Pokemon cards. So yeah, guys, at the end of the day, I wouldn't take any of this too seriously and just have fun with Pokemon cards. I wouldn't worry about like the profit and stuff like that. It was just a fun experiment.
And so yes, if you just bought the pack at retail value, even if you just resold it or parted it out, you're going to make money, because, well, right now anyway, everything's quite valuable because it's new. It was really hard to find. I went out and tried to find some. I went to a couple different stores the day it was released. At the time that all the stores opened, and one of the stores there was a huge line, and I wasn't about to wait in it. So I tried some other stores, and they didn't even have them. And yet there's plenty online that people are selling pre-order, which just tells me that the distribution of this release was not very well handled, because it means that the average consumer like me couldn't go out and buy it. And so somewhere in the supply chain, redistributors were intercepting. But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. So what I've done here, so I've got the find rate, the pull rate again, that's the same. And then I've determined the value of the card, which I got from tcgplayer.com. That's the value as of the time I'm recording this video. Some standard deviations, so there's some variation in what you can get for the card. And then the amount that you earn, which is your profit minus some amount. So like, for example, if you sell on eBay, you're going to lose some value fee. You have to pay for packing materials. If you have free shipping, you got to pay for shipping. So I just put in some assumptions there. Said, here's how much money you actually earn if you were to pull each of these cards. And I've got the cost per pack of around $7 because that's what you can find them for. If you manage to find some in a retail store, you'll probably get them for around $5, which would help you out a little. And then again, the decision of how many packs we're going to open, and our forecast is the amount of money that we earn, which is just the amount of money that we earn for each of these cards plus the amount that we spent, which is negative. So subtract the money you spent and you get a total. And for 100 packs, this is telling us mathematically you lose $340. But that's not always the case. I mean, you could get lucky, open some really good cards, and make some money. So let's go ahead and look at what those probabilities look like. We'll just go ahead and run this. And so it's going to run 10,000 times. And what this is telling us is, I set this up to be a reverse cumulative frequency. And so basically, as you move to the right, you see the percentage that you make that much money or more. And so over here in parentheses, that means it's negative. And then once we get to 0, that's your break even. So what this is telling us is, right, you have about a 10% chance to break even or earn money. So 90%, you're going to be somewhere over here. And most likely it's telling you you're going to be losing money. Most people are going to. Now, this would have been a little different if you were really early, because individual card prices were much higher during the first, say, like 2 weeks that this was released. So if you managed to get a good amount of these early on, like, say, I don't know, scalpers, and then sell those early, you could have made a lot more. So your odds of making money off this would have been much higher if you had access to cards right when they were released, which for the average consumer was quite difficult. This is actually kind of what a gambling curve looks like. If you're going to gamble, yeah, you could hit the jackpot and make $2,000 on, a couple hundred packs or what did I set this up as? 100 packs that you buy, but most likely you're going to be losing money. So what are the takeaways here? I think the takeaways are, if you're wanting to open cards to make money, don't do that, because most likely you're going to lose money. There's good ways to invest, and it's not in opening Pokemon cards. Now, a quick second on investing in Pokemon cards. So yes, some people bought and held on to stuff a long time ago, and now it's worth a ton of money, but they didn't know that it was going to be worth a bunch of money. I mean, Pokemon maybe wouldn't have caught on, or it could have fizzled out, and now those wouldn't be worth that much. But they just kind of got lucky because Pokemon did take off. And so that's the thing, is maybe you want to buy some of these and hang on to them and have them sealed, and 20 years from now you'll think they'll be worth 30 grand, like the original base set boxes. But that's not necessarily true, especially now, since so many more people are into it, and they're sort of looking looking into the future, thinking, oh, this will be worth a lot. There's going to be a lot more of these available 20 years from now. And so they're not going to be like those original ones, because back then no one knew how expensive they'd be. And so very few people were intentionally collecting them. And now that more people are collecting them, they're probably not going to be worth as much. So all this to say, there are better ways to invest your money. If you want to buy them because you enjoy Pokemon, then you should. If you want to do it because you want to make money, don't do it, because there's better ways to. Plus, you're taking away other people's ability to actually enjoy a product that they want to have. And you're just sort of fueling the fire of the scalper market that we have, which is a problem. What else? Second, if you're trying to find a specific card because you really want that one for your collection, or that one's important to you, or whatever, like it was for me in the Charizard, you're much better off just buying a card. Buy the one card, because for me to open 138 packs, it's like $900, whereas I could go on eBay right now and buy one for 110 and save $600. I'm not going to do that, even though I kind of want to, for two reasons. One, because I haven't opened Pokemon cards in like 20 years. And I kind of want that experience of opening the card, but also because it's important for me to demonstrate the mathematics and statistics that we're doing here. So I'm really hoping that in those 138 packs, I actually open one, because if I don't, then that'll be kind of embarrassing, because then I did all that for nothing. But we must have faith in the numbers. So we're gonna go ahead and do it, and we'll see how that goes. So wish me luck. And we're back. Let's do some more. 70 from 71. These are up to like $500. Better be a Charizard in here somewhere. Ooh, another Venusaur. That's like 4 Venusaurs. That's a lot of Venusaurs. 6. Ooh. It's not Charizard, but that's as rare as Charizard. Umbreon Star. 87 packs. Nice. That's a good pull. Nice. Last pack. Ooh, shiny Magikarp. That's a nice one. That's not Charizard. Okay. Well. I didn't pull one.
What next for our pseudo-statistician? Has he lost his faith in mathematics? Will he find his Charizard? Tune in next episode to find out.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this useful and entertaining. If you have any comments, I'd love to read them, so please put them below.